Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder have been going back and forth on Twitter, as they have many times before. There's a colourful history of trash talk between these two, and it had looked at one time that a showdown between the two of them was inevitable. Maybe it still is. Anyway, this latest Twitter, I don't even want to call it beef, because I don't think any of them are really angry. They're just talking trash and trying to wind each other up because they find it funny, particularly Tyson Fury. Anyway, Tyson Fury tweeted Deontay Wilder because Wilder is in need of an opponent. Tyson Fury said, "If you don't find an opponent, I'll fight you on your date in Feb. Only need 5 weeks for a bum like you, son. This is the only fight." All right. And Deontay Wilder responded by saying, "Stay sitting on the toilet for now. Beside, your mouth still have diarrhea and your stomach looks like old St. Nick's." All right. Father Christmas, for those of you who didn't get that. So yeah, they're going back and forth. Tyson Fury clearly can't be serious about taking on Deontay Wilder because Tyson Fury is not in any kind of condition. First and foremost, we still don't know what's going on with his situation with regards to UKAD, UK anti-doping. We don't know what's going on with his British boxing license at the moment. Although if he was to fight Wilder, it would obviously be in the United States, so he'd get a license over there. But the commission in Alabama would probably want to know what the hell's going on with his situation in the UK. So the whole thing looks unlikely. On top of that, Peter Fury is still, as far as I'm aware, banned from entering the United States. So Tyson wouldn't be able to have Peter Fury in his corner. Peter Fury has, quite a serious criminal record. And that's why he wasn't in Tyson Fury's corner the one time that Tyson Fury did fight in the United States. I believe it was only the one time he fought in the US as a professional against Steve Cunningham. So we only had Clifton Mitchell in his corner at the time. And a lot of people blame that performance against Cunningham on the fact that Peter wasn't in his corner, calming him down and giving him the right instructions. So yeah, this is just back and forth banter. I hope these two guys do get to fight eventually, but maybe Anthony Joshua, if he beats Vladimir Klitschko, maybe he'll fight Deontay Wilder long before Tyson Fury ever gets the chance to. And with all that being said, Gerald Washington seems to have accepted I'm not sure if he's been given an offer, but Gerald Washington has responded on social media and said that he's very interested in fighting Deontay Wilder. So he's being considered as an opponent, a replacement opponent for Warcheck. And yeah, Gerald Washington is bang on it. So we'll see what happens there. Could Warcheck could Gerald Washington spring the upset? Possible. He's a big guy. He can box. A lot of the things that people criticize Deontay Wilder for, Gerald Washington does better. Like Gerald Washington is not a guy who swings like Wilder does. He's not a guy who falls off balance all the time like Wilder does. Gerald Washington is a big heavyweight like Wilder, weighs a lot more. He's around the same kind of height, weighs more, not as fast, but a lot more conservative. He boxes sensibly. He did against Amir Mansour. He did against Eddie Chambers. Defensively, not even just sensibly. He boxes defensively. He's trying to be the new Vladimir Klitschko in there at times with the jab, not so much grabbing, but a lot of jabbing and moving around and not really engaging. Will that be effective against Wilder? Will he be able to exploit some of Wilder's technical deficiencies and avoid that big right hand that Wilder has, if that right hand is still effective after the surgery and injury and whatnot? Anyway, that's the subject for another video. The subject of this video was Wilder and Fury going back and forth. Do you think these two will ever fight? And if they did ever fight, what do you think would happen? I know it's a difficult question to ask because we don't know where Tyson Fury is going to be at when he comes back in terms of physically, mentally. We don't quite know where Deontay Wilder is at the moment because he's coming back from injury. So I don't know, difficult question to ask, but maybe you feel from a stylistic point of view that one would beat the other. Most people, I would imagine, will be picking Tyson Fury, but there might be some people out there who say, you know what, Wilder's got that awkward, ungainly, unorthodox style that might be able to upset Tyson Fury. Sometimes when you go in there with a guy who isn't the most well-schooled, who isn't the most polished, it can actually be more difficult than going in with a guy who is well-schooled. It kind of reminds me of when Vernon Forrest, who beat Shane Mosley. Remember, at the time when Vernon Forrest beat Shane Mosley, Mosley was widely regarded as the #1 pound-for-pound fighter in the world at the time. Vernon Forrest went in there, dropped him, and schooled him for 12 rounds in the first fight. That was a big shock. Then in the rematch, he beat Shane Mosley again on points. So, actually, did he stop Mosley the first time? I swear it went a distance. so long ago now, I forget. My memory is failing me. But he beat him both times anyway. No, he beat him. Yeah, I'm sure he beat him on points both times. He didn't stop him. But anyway, yeah. So Vernon Forrest was looking very good. He just beat the #1 pound-for-pound guy back-to-back in 2 fights. Then he took on an unheralded, virtually unknown Ricardo Mayorga, a guy who comes in swinging with wild, unorthodox punches. And he lost to Mayorga. That was shocking. I remember, to me, it was shocking. I thought, how the hell did this guy beat Vernon Forrest? Vernon Forrest is a good boxer, good technique, good jab, decent punching power. He's tall, rangy. And you've got this Mayorga coming in like a caveman, swinging for the fences, windmilling, and he manages to bum rush and beat Vernon Forrest. How the hell did that happen? And he did stop Vernon Forrest. Maybe that's where I was getting the stoppage mixed up with the Shane Mosley Vernon Forrest fight, because that went a distance. So yeah, he stopped Vernon Forrest, and it was a shocking thing to see. Somebody so crude and poorly schooled beat someone as slick and technically good as a Vernon Forrest. It can happen. Unorthodox guys can throw off the best boxers sometimes if they've got the power and they've got the energy, which Mayorga certainly had in his prime, and maybe Deontay Wilder has it now. We'll see. Drop your comments in the comment section below. Let me know how you feel about everything I talked about in this video. It's Hatman. I'm out.